He asked me that question, and I said, if the American people wanted me to run for the presidency of the United States of America, I would strongly consider it, and damn it, I mean it.
So let's go over this.
For me to run for the presidency of the United States, here's what I would tell you. Here's what I would tell you, Kendrick Perkins. I would sit up there and say, listen, I'm going to give it to you straight. I ain't going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to know. And I ain't going to do what you want me to do. I'm going to do what's best. And someday I'm going to flow left. And someday I'm going to flow right. But at the end of the day, and you see how I'm holding my fist?
Stephen A. Smith, ESPN's highest paid employee, has been doing this song and dance for what feels like some time now.
I've been approached by people on Capitol Hill. I've been approached by people who are elected officials in office, whether it's governors or mayors or what have you, and people have legitimately and seriously asked me about that. The Democratic Party looks so pathetic after this election. I might entertain running. I just might change my mind one day. I doubt it, but I might. Because how much would it take to beat y'all? I think the Democratic Party in the state that they find themselves in, I think somebody like me could actually win. I certainly think that I could beat any of those candidates that you put on the screen. I can tell you that right now.
For one writer and comedian, he calls BS.
But if you came to me and you told me I had a legitimate shot to win the presidency of the United States of America, I would definitely consider it. But here's the problem.
So you want to break through the line?
Yeah, that's right. I'm a moderate. I'm a centrist. And I'm the kind of person that, do I believe that if I committed myself to knowing politics the way you and others know it, do I believe I could win a Democratic nomination? Hell yes. Particularly the state of affairs that exists, I think it would be a cakewalk. I think I'd take them all out. I really, really believe that. I really think I could take them.
But that's also bullshit. Like, everything he's saying is bullshit. There's just like he's like, oh, if I put the time in, I could totally run for president. He might as well say like, if I put 6 months in, I could totally fight Mike Tyson. Like, there's like, all he's doing is just talking. There's nothing serious. He is the most unserious human being who just likes the attention. And that is what you are giving him with this. Congratulations, Pablo. You just fell into the trap. The egomaniac wants people to talk about him, and you just did it, and you tricked me and Tim into taking part of this, and I want no part of it, Pablo. I don't want it, because he doesn't want this. He just wants attention.
Wyatt Cenac, who you've likely seen on HBO, The Daily Show, and, well, many other shows, basically says, stop the cap. However, on his show, Pablo Toure would go over Smith's chances.
The thing that kickstarted this whole enterprise, truly, is that there was this single throwaway question in a McLaughlin poll in January that went viral immediately because it gave Stephen A. Smith, Wyatt Cenac's favorite person, a 2% chance as a wild card against a field of 15 other potential candidates for the 2028 Democratic primary.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
For the fact that we commissioned a legitimate survey with Rasmussen of 1,021 likely American voters with dozens of questions conducted over 2 days, online and by phone. Basic demographics of the survey: 52% women, 33% Democratic, 35% Republican, 32% unaffiliated. And Rasmussen, Tim, again, it's a public opinion firm that is a thing. It's a real thing. We asked a survey of 1,021 likely American voters, who would you consider a stronger Democratic candidate for president? Hillary Clinton in 2016 got 36%. Stephen A. Smith in 2028 got 34%. Not sure. Coming in strong with 30%. Same question, except Joe Biden in 2024.
Yeah.
Coming in at 27%. Stephen A. Smith in 2028 coming in at 36%. Narrowing the poll now to 654 likely Democratic primary voters. Margin of error now up to 4%. If the 2028 Democratic primary were held today, who would you vote for? Kamala Harris coming in at 45%. Stephen A. Smith coming in at 24%. Other 17%, wouldn't vote 6%, not sure 9%. Another head-to-head in the primary Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, 32%. Stephen A. Smith, 28%. Other, 18%. Wouldn't vote, 7%. Not sure, 15%. Head-to-head, Gavin Newsom, 31%. Stephen A., 28%. 2028 presidential election. In a legit political poll, the Rasmussen reports, Pablo Torre finds out survey, more than 1,000 likely American voters with a margin of error of 3%. If the 2028 presidential election were held today, who would you vote for? J.D. Vance, 38%. Stephen A. Smith, 34%.
I want to be clear about this, okay? I think this is a bad idea. I think when you have a man who has called himself a centrist, that is exactly what Joe Biden is on the political spectrum of American politics. And a centrist everywhere else in the world is very right-wing. I'm sorry if a lot of y'all don't understand what I'm saying, but it is what it is. Do I think that the moment of fighting fascism needs a centrist? No. Do I think the moment of fighting a fascist needs a liberal? No. Because as the saying goes, scratch a liberal, you get a fascist. I am not going to advocate for someone like Stephen A. Smith to be the next president of the United States. Because he's just going to cave. He's shown that he's all about the money. No knock on it. Look at where that drive has gotten him. And if he thinks that giving up his $100 million, salary with ESPN is going to be hard, just look at how past presidents have enriched themselves and how much they are worth. Nancy Pelosi is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So I don't want to hear that. He has said that he is not in favor of abortion, but thinks that a woman should have a right to choose. Is that really the bar that we're setting? Is that it? Look up his past comments of what he said about women. Look up his Ray Rice comments. Look up his RG3 comments. Not recently, but when RG3 was playing. Look up what he said about Carmelo Anthony's hoodie. Look up what he said about Colin Kaepernick. He can say things that will get approval or not. But the way that he has handled so many different interviews, including Candace Owens, has been breathtakingly bad. I do not think he meets the moment. I agree with Wyatt Cenac, now that we're getting the serious part out of the way. I agree with Wyatt Cenac, the serious part as in should he run. With Wyatt Cenac, it's quite clear that he sees what Stephen A. is all about. This is, to be very clear, a media space now where so many in this field, I would say upwards of 80%, are doing it to become rich and famous. And in order to do that, attention is currency. Being discussed is currency. Seeing other people upload your clips is currency. And Stephen A. has mastered it. He got on Andrea Carter at one point for not marketing herself enough. He knows how to play the game. He's just playing it again and again and again with this I might run, I might not presidential talk. It is what it is. He's a popular figure. He is practically the number one person in sports media. But will he meet the moment? No. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.